It's time once again for the Kennett Indian Coaches Show as we visit with Coach Aaron New after a big 12-0 5-inning victory over Doniphan. And it's always good to talk to Coach New after a victory and getting a win like this. And, Coach, let's look at the positives right now. But Owen Williams got the start and went 2 2/3. And then you put Zane Franklin in and bases loaded jam, and he got the first batter. And then Cash finishes it out, and lots of offense for your team. And I know you've said it many times, but offense will correct a lot of problems. But tell you what, when you score 12 runs, that corrects a lot of problems, and also good pitching just adds to it.
Yeah, keep saying repeat the repeat. Probably the pitching all year long has been what we needed. We've just been inconsistent offensively. Today we was on the good side of being consistent. It's good to see Hayden Gilmore put a couple good swings. I know he lined into a double play there, but that ball was scorched, and Caleb Duncan kind of got himself going. Those guys struggled a little bit through the SEMO Conference tournament, so it's good to get those guys going. And then we had some hits up and down the order. It's kind of good to see Cade Anderson. I think Cade had 2 hits today, and Zane Franklin hit another ball hard. So we talked about it. The pieces are there at times. We just got to find that consistency, and we need to go ahead and find it pretty quick.
Well, I know you're still shuffling things around a little bit on your lineup. You're still trying to find that combination that works, and when you make pitching changes, you still have to make changes. But yeah, a lot of these sophomores, and you made the comment on last week's show, they're not sophomores anymore, and we're seeing that. But we saw a lot of good defensive plays out of your sophomore shortstop, which is not an easy place to play. But then you're getting John Baker Brown at third when he has to come in and play third, making some good plays. Jackson Patterson, who hadn't played a lot of shortstop, has made so many good plays, and he made one this afternoon about as good as you're going to see from a second baseman. And you have to like that. The defense really is so critical for a successful team, and the games, those close games you lost, a lot of times that defense didn't come through.
And it was not like it was been terrible defense. It was just a bad play at the wrong time. I keep calling it in the time to win moments, and we just haven't been great there. We've said it's the youth and this, that, and the other, but it's time for that not to be the case anymore. And, Cade made a really nice play there on that double play to end the game. And he's been tremendous for us at shortstop all year long. He's going to be a really good player. I said earlier, it was good to see him get a couple of hits. So, we seeded today, which I know we'll talk about the district here in a little bit, but we still feel like if we could ever find some consistency for 3 games in a row, that we would have a chance to maybe compete for district championship.
Well, in that district championship, the seeds came out, so we can talk a little bit about that. And your first matchup is with Doniphan. And I know it's good not to be able to use your pitchers, but if you can play a Friday game and get a district win under your belt, and before you take on top seed Dexter, I would think it's a good thing to have a little momentum, and you're playing at home when you play Dexter.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, we didn't want to be in that play-in game, but really don't think it's that big a deal for us. So I think we've pitched enough guys this year. Enough guys have got enough inning that we've got enough to get through the district tournament with having to play that 3rd game. I know Coach Sue Allen has already kind of formulated his plan on how he wants to attack the district tournament with our pitching, and kind of setting it up a little bit today in the next 3 games we have, and then to go from there to see how it turns out.
Well, the bottom half of that bracket, Fredericktown gets the 2 seed, but you talked about the coach that they have has a lot of SEMO Conference experience.
Yeah. Steve Williams is a longtime SEMO Conference coach at Cape Central. Went to see me, and he walked up, and I said, "What are you doing here?" I didn't even know he was there, but I know they're going to be well coached, and as many times as we latched up with Notre Dame and Dexter, we know how they're going to be well coached. So I think it's going to be as competitive district tournament as we've had in a long time.
Well, a lot like we talked about the SEMO Conference tournament, that thing's up for grabs, whoever plays the best. And I think certainly that's true for the Class 4 District 1. At any time you get to play at Indian Park, I think it's an advantage for your ball club.
Yeah, it's an advantage for us here. It's a long drive for Doniphan. It's a long drive for Fredericktown, and long drive
for Notre Dame.
For everybody, yeah.
Because we have to go up there,
so,
don't we?
So it's good. I'm glad Coach McBroom came to me and said he'd really like for us to try to have it at home this time. So it'll keep us from having to travel, and maybe it'll give us a little bit of home field advantage.
Let's talk about the upcoming games. You got Bernie You got the last home game scheduled against South Pim, and I don't recall the other one.
It's a makeup.
It's Jackson.
Jackson
Jackson's the last one. That's right.
It's at Jackson.
I remember that now, but that's the game we had rained out at Jackson.
Yep.
And that'll be a good test before you go into the district tournament. So I guess right now it's really about getting your pitchers set up.
Yeah, it's what it's about, and trying to make sure everybody's healthy here and not overwork them. Hayden's worked, not overworked, but he's worked a lot here. So I think we'll just kind of see how it goes. And like I said, Coach Lou Allen's been doing this a long time, and he kind of knows his personnel and knows what he wants to do and what he likes, and so that's what we'll go with.
One of the things I've seen year in and year out for your pitchers, you try to save the pitchers where they're the strongest at the end of the season. You get pitchers that's throwing 100 pitches and they get 7 or 8 starts. By the time district comes, the arm's kind of wearing down, and you've been able to save a lot of your pitchers. And Owen seemed like he had pretty good pop on his fastball today, and we saw what Zane can do, and Cash, and then Cade Anderson's one of your big cogs in that pitching matchup.
We've got a big power arm, and then we've got some strike throwers, and I don't mean that negatively. I mean that in a positive. They're strike throwers. They command is what they get by with, and that's what we like. I've kind of been impressed with Zane Franklin's last couple outings. He's come in. I know the other day the scoreboard there at Capitol Hall Park, he was 82, 83 a couple of times. So, and he's starting to learn how to locate his pitches, and the curveball's getting a little bit more consistent. So, some positive things there. And then, like you say, Kay's done a great job for us, and Cash Franklin's done a great job for us. So, we feel like we've got enough depth that we'd be okay pitching-wise to get through 3 games if we're lucky enough to.
You've seen a lot of pitching at the college level and very good high school pitchers, but someone with a 6'4" frame and built like Zane Franklin, he has the potential to hit high 80s, and if he really works, he could be in the low 90s if he really wants to work at it.
And what I'm liking about Zane is he's been in my fitness class, which is what our weightlifting is, and he's really bought in and trying to commit himself to the weight room. He's really wanting to have a good football year next year and a good basketball. He's a 3-sport guy, so he's starting to grow up. He's starting to mature a little bit, and we really like his actions. He scored from second on a base hit today, and it looked like a SEMO all-conference player running the bases is what it looks like. So he's really working hard for us.
Well, Coach, good luck. A good Bernie team will be the opponent tomorrow, a 4:30 start, and we'll have it for you. And then, of course, the final 2 regular season games, final home game against South Pim, and then going on the road to play Jackson, and then district tournament time. Yeah,
I want to say on the South Pim game, that's going to be our senior night. But South Pim has a banquet, so we always play that game at 3:30. So we will do our senior festivities after the game. I know that's not the norm, but we'll do it after the game to make sure everybody can get off work and get out there to support our seniors.
And we'll have that for you as well. But come on out and support these seniors, a great group of seniors. And, Coach, let's keep it rolling and get a district championship.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Perry.
All right. Coach Aaron New this afternoon on the Kennett Indian Coaches Show.